This is Captain Ross with 3B's Captain School. In this video, we're going to cover navigation rules of the road, rules 11 through 13. Our objectives for rules 11 through 13. Identify 3 situations sailing vessels may encounter with each other and proper actions to be taken. State what a vessel overtaking another is required to do, and state when a vessel is deemed to be overtaking. So Rule 11 is pretty simple. It basically states that Rules 11 through 18 apply to all vessels in sight of one another. And if we remember from Rule 3, vessels are deemed to be in sight of one another only when one can be observed visually from the other. Simply put, you can literally see the other vessel. You're in sight. If you can't see them because of fog, rainstorm, snowstorm, whatever the condition you can think of, then you're not in sight. That's restricted visibility. This is vessels in sight, rules 11 through 18. Sailboats. When 2 sailing vessels are approaching one another so as to involve a risk of collision, one shall keep out of the way as follows. When each has wind on a different side, vessel with wind on port shall keep out of the way of the other. So if you look at the diagrams here to the right, we have the wind coming down from the top. This sailing vessel has the wind on its port side. This sailing vessel has the wind striking its starboard side. When the 2 sailing vessels have wind on different sides, the vessel with the wind on the port side is the give-way vessel. The vessel with the wind on the starboard side is the stand-on vessel. Remember, this is 2 sailboats. Not a power-driven boat and a sailboat, not a towboat and a sailboat, 2 sailboats. The bottom image here, the wind is coming from the bottom, same situation. The sailboat on the right here, I'm hovering over my cursor, wind is on its port side, it's a give-way. The sailboat on the left here, wind is on the starboard side, it is the stand-on. 2 sailing vessels, risk of collision. One shall keep out of the other as follows. Wind on the same side, vessel to windward or upwind shall keep out of the way. So if you look at this diagram, wind's coming down from the top. The sailboat here on the left is the give-way. The wind's hitting on its port side, but if you notice a stand-on sailboat here below it, the wind's also on the port side. So they have wind on the same side, but this sail vessel is windward or closer to the wind than the sailboat here on the bottom. If you look at the right side of the diagram here, here's a sailing vessel. The wind is striking it on its right or starboard side. Same for the stand-on vessel. Again, this vessel is to windward. 2 sailing vessels, risk of collision. One shall keep out of the way as follows. If a vessel with the wind on the port side sees a vessel to windward and cannot determine with certainty whether the other vessel has the wind on the port or the starboard side, she shall keep out of the way of the other. So when you can't determine and you have the wind on the port side, you need to keep out of the way of the other vessel. So that's the 3 times that sailboats, the 3 different ways they can interact and how they're supposed to determine who's the give-way and who's the stand-on vessel in those situations. Overtaking. One vessel is approaching another from astern and sees only the stern light at night. Any vessel overtaking any other vessel shall keep out of the way of the vessel being overtaken. So check out the diagram here on the right side of this slide. Anywhere in this gray area, you're overtaking. So at night, you would see the stern light. You would not see the masthead light. You would not see the port running light, which is red, or the starboard running light, which is green. So at night, if I'm approaching, I'm only going to see their stern light. During the day, I'm just going to have to estimate here, but if I'm approaching from an angle greater than 112.5 degrees from their bow, which is where you see those side lights, then I'm in an overtaking situation. When I'm overtaking, I'm the give-way vessel. I have to stay away from or out of this vessel's way that I'm overtaking and their stand on. So I'm back here where my cursor's at, I'm overtaking, and I'm overtaking all the way until I'm completely past and clear of this vessel. When a vessel is in any doubt as to whether she has overtaken another vessel, she shall assume that is the case and act accordingly. So let's say it's during the day and I'm kind of in this area right here. I don't really know if I'm overtaking or crossing. I'm going to assume I'm overtaking and stay clear of this vessel. Any subsequent alteration of the bearing between the two vessels shall not make the overtaking vessel a crossing vessel or relieve her of the duty of keeping out of the way until she is well past and clear. What that means is, here's a great example. As I'm overtaking them at some point at night especially, I'm going to see this starboard running light or side light, but just because now I see the light doesn't mean we're in a crossing situation. It started overtaking and it's overtaking until I'm completely past and clear and we're out of each other's way. This concludes this video on navigation rules of the road, rules 11 through 13. Please check out our YouTube library for our other videos.